Do you know the true cost of that $10 shirt you just bought? Spoiler alert, it's not just money. It's the environment, exploited labor, and a whole lot more. We're talking about an industry that thrives on cheap trends, churning out new clothes faster than you can say sustainable. But beneath the glitter of those trendy designs lies a world of shocking exploitation and environmental destruction. In this video, we're going deep to uncover the dark secrets of fast fashion. We'll expose why it's more harmful than a pair of cheaply made jeggings after a spicy taco night, and most importantly, we'll arm you with the knowledge to make better choices. Stay till the end. You'll never look at that $5 t-shirt sale the same way again. Okay, folks, let's break it down. Fast fashion, it sounds like a drive-through for your closet, right? And in a way, it is. We're talking about brands pumping out clothes faster than a hype beast can refresh their Instagram feed. These companies take runway trends, copy them at lightning speed, and boom, you've got a whole new wardrobe calling your name. But here's the catch: fast fashion is built on a foundation shakier than a poorly constructed garment factory. It's all about speed and low costs, which means corners are cut, and not the cool vintage Levi's kind of cut. We're talking about cutting corners on environmental regulations, labor standards, and basically anything that gets in the way of making a quick buck. Think about it. That $10 shirt, someone somewhere down the line is paying the real price for that bargain, and it's usually not the CEO chilling on their yacht made of recycled plastic bottles. Fast fashion thrives on this cycle of buy, wear, and discard. They want you to feel like your clothes are outdated after a single wear, pushing you to buy more. But here's the thing: we, the consumers, have more power than we realize. We can choose to opt out of this toxic cycle. We can demand better from the brands we support. So the next time you're about to hit add to cart on that super cheap dress, pause and think about the real cost. All right, folks, buckle up, because we're about to enter the dark underbelly of the fashion industry. First up, water waste. Did you know that it takes over 1,800 gallons of water to make just one pair of jeans? That's enough water for one person to drink for almost 3 years. And where does all that water go? Often it ends up dumped right back into rivers and streams, polluted with toxic dyes and chemicals. Speaking of toxic waste, let's talk about the mountains of textile waste generated by the fast fashion industry. Every year, we're talking about 92 million tons of clothing ending up in landfills globally. That's like burying the entire city of New York under a mountain of discarded crop tops and ripped jeans. The production process is a nightmare for the planet. From the pesticides used to grow conventional cotton to the toxic dyes that pollute waterways, fast fashion is leaving a trail of environmental destruction in its wake. And if that wasn't bad enough, let's talk about carbon emissions. Fast fashion is responsible for a whopping 10% of global carbon emissions. The environmental toll of fast fashion is staggering, but it's easy to feel overwhelmed. But don't despair. We'll get to solutions later in the video. Chapter 3. Exploitation of labor. The human cost of cheap clothes. We've talked about the environmental impact of fast fashion, but the human cost is just as devastating. Behind those trendy designs and bargain prices lies a system built on the backs of exploited workers, often in developing countries. These are the people who make our clothes, and their stories are often hidden behind the shiny facade of the fashion industry. Let's talk about sweatshops. These are factories where workers, often women and young girls, toil away in unsafe and inhumane conditions. We're talking about cramped spaces, forced overtime, exposure to hazardous chemicals, and wages so low they barely cover the cost of a meal. And it gets worse. Child labor is a rampant problem in the fashion industry. Over 150 million children worldwide are engaged in forced labor, with many trapped in garment factories. Women bear the brunt of the exploitation in the fast fashion industry. They make up around 80% of garment workers globally, and they face a whole host of challenges, from gender discrimination to unequal pay. These workers are treated as disposable, just like the clothes they make. Their voices are silenced, their rights are violated, and their dreams are crushed under the weight of a system that prioritizes profit over people. It's easy to feel disconnected from the people who make our clothes, especially when we're bombarded with images of glamorous models and influencers. But we need to remember that behind every piece of clothing, there's a human story. We need to demand better from the brands we support. Chapter 4, Why Fast Fashion Thrives, the Psychology of Cheap Clothes. So we've exposed the ugly truth about fast fashion, the environmental damage, the labor exploitation, the whole unsustainable mess. But here's the million-dollar question. If it's so bad, why is it so damn successful? Why are we still falling for their tricks? Well, my friends, it all boils down to psychology, marketing, and a healthy dose of good old-fashioned manipulation. Fast fashion companies are masters at tapping into our deepest desires and insecurities, making us feel like we need that new top or those trendy jeans to be happy, to fit in, to be someone. Let's start with the obvious low prices. We all love a good bargain, right? And fast fashion delivers on that front, offering clothes at prices so low it feels criminal not to buy them. But here's the thing, those low prices are only possible because someone else is paying the real cost. Then there's the constant bombardment of new trends. Fast fashion thrives on our desire to be on trend, to have the latest look, to keep up with the Joneses. They're constantly churning out new styles, making us feel like we need to buy more and more to stay relevant. And let's not forget about planned obsolescence. Fast fashion clothes are designed to fall apart. They use cheap materials, shoddy construction, and trendy designs that go out of style faster than you can say micro-trend. It's a vicious cycle. You buy something, wear it a few times, it falls apart, and you're back to square one, ready to buy more. Fast fashion companies are playing a game, and we're the pawns. They're manipulating our emotions, exploiting our insecurities, and profiting from our desire for instant gratification. But we don't have to play their game. We can choose to be more conscious consumers. Chapter 5, How to Make Better Choices. Breaking up with fast fashion. All right, folks, we've covered a lot of ground here. We've exposed the dark side of the fast fashion industry, from its devastating environmental impact to its exploitation of workers. But it's not all doom and gloom. We have the power to change things. We can break up with fast fashion and create a more sustainable and ethical future for the fashion industry. So how do we do it? It starts with awareness. Now that you know the truth about fast fashion, you can't unknow it. Use this knowledge to make more informed choices about the clothes you buy. Next up, buy less, choose better. Instead of filling your closet with cheap, trendy clothes that fall apart after a few washes, invest in high-quality, timeless pieces that will last you for years to come. Think of it as building a capsule wardrobe, a collection of essential items that can be mixed and matched to create a variety of looks. And speaking of buying less, let's talk about thrifting. Thrifting is like treasure hunting for your wardrobe. You can find unique, one-of-a-kind pieces at a fraction of the cost of buying new. Plus, you're giving clothes a second life and reducing textile waste. Another way to fight fast fashion is to support ethical brands. Look for brands that prioritize sustainability, fair labor practices, and transparency. Check for certifications like Fair Trade, GOTS, Global Organic Textile Standard, and B Corp to ensure that the clothes you're buying are made ethically and sustainably. And don't forget about the power of repair and upcycling. Instead of throwing away clothes that are ripped, stained, or simply out of style, get creative and give them a new lease on life. Learn basic sewing skills to mend tears, dye faded garments, or transform old clothes into something new and exciting. Finally, spread the word. Talk to your friends and family about the impact of fast fashion. Share this video, post about it on social media, and start conversations about ethical and sustainable fashion. The more people who are aware of the problem, the more we can create a demand for change. Breaking up with fast fashion might seem daunting, but it doesn't have to be an all-or-nothing proposition. Start small. Make one change at a time. Every little bit counts. By choosing to buy less, buy better, and support ethical brands, we can create a more sustainable and just future for the fashion industry and the planet. Outro joined the movement, make fashion fair. Fast fashion is destroying the planet and exploiting people, but we have the power to change that. It starts with awareness, and now that you're armed with the truth, it's time for action. Remember, every time you choose a sustainably made garment, you're casting a vote for a more ethical and environmentally friendly fashion industry. What step will you take to fight fast fashion? Let us know in the comments below. Share your thoughts, share your journey, and let's inspire each other to make a difference. If this video opened your eyes, like, share, and subscribe to Motion Era for more insights into sustainability and the hidden truths behind industries.